You're so rude to the workers. You're so rude to the workers. You're so rude to the workers. This is their job. The customer is always right. I pay my money to act like that. What? I don't know how to skate. What are you talking about, Danny? It just feels like. I don't give a how you feel. I'm a content creator. I don't know if you've heard of me before.
No, unfortunately, I haven't heard of you. Sorry.
Will Kelly is one of the biggest creators on TikTok, and I mean that in every sense of the word. He is a jerk, knows he is a jerk, but simply does not care that he is. He was originally known for documenting his honest weight loss journey, starting from 600 pounds.
I'm morbidly obese. I've been kind of bigger my whole life. Not kind of bigger, I've been big my whole life.
During this period, he began working with a free trainer, Coach B, and appeared genuinely committed to gym sessions and dietary changes.
Today, me and Coach B are going to teach you how to become It's going to be great. Great.
People really liked him because he was open about his weight loss journey, and he quickly amassed a large following.
I keep gaining weight, and I don't know how to stop.
Afterward, he started making content focused on what and where he ate throughout his weight loss transformation. Not just eating, he also detailed his transportation experiences during his weight loss journey, such as discussing what it was like flying at 600 pounds, 500 pounds, and so on.
This is how I fly at 500 pounds. It's crazy. Let's check it out. I am where most fat people are afraid to go, the airport. Fat people hate the airport. Why? It's a lot of walking, it's very small seats, no one likes to go here.
But then fame went to his head, and he transformed into a deeply disrespectful and entitled creator.
You're so rude to the workers, you're so rude to the workers, you're so rude to the workers. This is their job. The customer is always right. I pay my money to act like that.
Another example was when he got kicked off a Love Island-style dating show. He lashed out, arrogantly claiming he was the biggest star in the competition, and that they couldn't kick him out.
Bro, I'm the biggest star here, bro. Remember this moment. I made this whole show.
From being disrespectful towards everyone he has ever come in contact with to displaying casual racism on stream, this is the story of a TikTok sensation whose fame got into his head and now wants people to treat him with grace like they treat other creators. To understand how badly things went wrong, you have to see how right it started, because nothing about Will Kelly's first month suggested any of this. He started his TikTok on February 2nd, 2025, and explained that 6 months earlier he had been around 630 pounds, with his legs swelling and the fat around his neck making it hard to breathe at night. He could not walk to the end of his own street without severe back pain, and he could not reach around his body to clean himself without improvising a tool. So, he decided to go on a workout journey so that he could shed some of that fat. His pitch was genuinely smart. He pointed out that most weight loss content shows the beginning and the end, but skips the part that actually matters, and this is the part that he wants to show.
I kind of wanted to document it in real time because every time I see someone who's lost weight, what they do is record the beginning of it and then record the end. But I think the real fight is in the middle. That's the real hard part.
That is the deal he made with his audience. It was about accountability and figuring out if it was possible to lose weight, and it is the most important thing in this story, because everything after gets measured against it. He was open about the mental side too, saying he had always dealt with clinical depression and anxiety, and had been self-soothing with food.
I want to do this content thing for the rest of my life. I'm starting to think, at what cost? The route I'm going, I don't know how possible that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got nothing, bro. I don't got a family. I don't got a shorty. I don't got nothing, bro. All I got is this. This is it. This is it. This content thing is all that I have, bro. It's everything to me, you know? So when the people ask me what's more important, your health or content, and my response is, I don't know. That's where that comes from.
Then around Valentine's Day, he posted about being alone, saying it was not his first Valentine's Day by himself. In fact, it was his 25th time. Then he talked about what he usually does with leftover chicken grease, and this kind of grossed out many people.
On most Valentine's Days, I would gorge as much food as possible and like get the itis. I remember one Valentine's Day, I ordered literally as much fried chicken as I could. I ate as much of it as I could. I had the itis. I couldn't even get off the couch. And then I used the chicken grease to touch myself.
This is the first real crack. Will overshares compulsively, and he cannot tell the difference between honest and unusable. Another case is when he posted a video on Mother's Day and admitted there was a time he stole from his own mom to afford food. This video probably humanized him more than other videos he had posted up till that point. Later he opened up about trauma, saying the people who were supposed to protect him were the ones causing the most harm. His daily routine suffered because of this. According to him, he typically just wakes up thinking about food, goes to sleep thinking about food, and that most of his money goes toward food. He then described a loop where he would eat until he could not move, force himself to be able to work, film, earn, and buy more food. It is worth noting that this should not be treated as a punchline. This is a man describing a genuine eating disorder on camera, and that is worth remembering. He was even invited onto a podcast by his own grandfather to talk about documenting the journey, which shows how seriously people took him early on.
I've always been someone who lived out loud in my entire life, and I think my mom at this point has just kind of gotten used to it. It's just like, if you're gonna do it, do it. I can't stop it.
Well, we do have that in common a little bit, don't we?
I told you where you, Pappy. You're one of my favorite family members ever on any side. Ever, for the simple fact, you're one of the only people I felt like ever told the truth.
Then he even shared how his teenage years went working at McDonald's and how he was bullied at the time.
So when I was a kid, I used to work at McDonald's, bro. McDonald's was my first ever job. And I was homeschooled, right? They used to have me working the day shift with none of the other teenagers. It would just be me and a bunch of 40-year-old Hispanic women speaking Spanish. I should have learned Spanish because I know they were talking about it.
That is the Will Kelly people signed up for. Then he found a format that got more views than Progress ever did, and things started to go downhill from there. The series that destroyed his reputation started as a genuinely clever idea, which is what makes it so annoying in hindsight. On March 2nd, 2025, he uploaded the first episode of Will Kelly Power Meals. The concept was that he would walk into a restaurant he used to eat at and order the exact meal that got him to 600 pounds. He went to different restaurants such as Popeyes, Royal Farms, Little Caesars, Jollibee, and KFC.
This is what I had Jollibees when I was over 600 pounds. It was crazy. Let's check it out. All right, guys.
Then he would spend the rest of the video describing the chicken like a love letter and admitting he really wanted to eat it. The video blew up bigger than anything since his introduction, but the comment section was not inspired anymore. It was people laughing at him. Power Meals became the main show, and the workouts and motivational videos started vanishing from his page. The first was that he looked identical in every video, and for a creator whose pitch was on watch me lose the weight, people were starting to think that maybe he didn't take that commitment seriously anymore. The second thing people find annoying was how he handled the food, touching it, smelling it, and describing every texture like a critic rather than a man in recovery. Then came the spin-off, a series about eating at fast food places to lose weight. This made everything he was doing feel dishonest. It was clear at this point that he had no real intention of losing weight. In fact, if anything, he wants to add more.
This is a new TikTok series I'm trying where I go back to the fast food places I love, but I eat the healthy meals. The meal has to be under 700 calories. If it's under 700 calories, I'm gonna try it out, test it, rate it, and let you know how it is.
Then he came out to say that it is difficult for him to lose weight because everything is just better with food.
The hardest part about losing weight that no one talks about is everything is better with food. A simple walk in the park on a sunny day is 10 times better with a cold drink. Who wants to be in the car unless they can snack on chips?
His pitch on the Wendy's video was that nothing can stop him, and that Will Kelly can eat anything and still lose weight. He posted a McChicken mukbang the same week he was screaming inside a restaurant that fast food is poison, which is the whole problem in 1 week of uploads. The content had completely inverted. A page built on losing weight had become a page about watching a man eat, but the food was only half of it. The other half was how he started treating the people working in those restaurants. If Power Meals cost Will his credibility, the way he behaved inside those restaurants is what made people actively dislike him. Maybe it was the fame that got to his head, but Will Kelly casually films himself acting rudely towards service workers, including demanding excessive attention, invading their personal space, questioning staff unnecessarily.
All right, Amanda, that's fine. I'm not tripping at all. May I please have 10 French toast sticks, 2 sausage croissants, a large drink, and an order of hash browns. Large, please. Do I look like I get small, Amanda?
He also walks into restricted areas inside restaurants to harass workers.
Excuse me, sir. What's going on, man?
Yo, you can't be back here.
Oh, we can't. Oh, my bad. I was just wondering if you could take my order.
Yeah, but I'm doing stuff, so you gotta wait. Like,
All right, yeah, no, I'll wait.
nah, but what you like?
All right, bro, I'll go back over there. I do it whenever I'm not getting my order.
Then there was the time he disrespected everything about a black-owned restaurant, from their menu and furniture to their service.
Because of how long we're having to wait to get served. Look at the menus, man. They're all cheap. Like, I hate the chairs here, bro. They're not made for a fat person. They're all wiggly and After I eat fried chicken, I just want to You know what I mean? I just want to Awesome. Thank you so much. Water. This isn't from the tap, is it?
That is not a man who slipped up. That is a man narrating his own bad behavior and telling you he is fine with it. The crazy thing is that whenever people call him out on his rudeness and entitled behavior, he simply deletes the videos from his page. No apologies, no retraction, just plain old evidence deletion. He ran the same playbook at a Jimmy John's, claiming on camera that he had ordered about an hour ago when the worker corrected him that it had been 5 minutes. At a Wendy's, he screamed in the lobby until an employee asked him to lower his voice, then announced to the room that he would not say the classist thing he was thinking. At a Steak and Shake, he walked up to a woman working the counter and made an unsolicited comment about how much older she looked up close. At a Buffalo Wild Wings, a waitress made clear she did not want to be filmed, and he kept the camera on her and narrated that she refused to participate. At Popeyes, he entered a place reserved for employees only, and when he was asked to leave, he loudly said that they were selling poison.
Tired of the haters. I'm tired of the haters, bro. They get mad at me because I walk past them, bro. Bro, it says employees only back here. But I can still come back here, bro. But you gonna be mad at me. You gonna yell at me. Nah, bro. I'm not going. I gotta go?
Get out.
All right, I gotta go. You not mad that you selling poison, bro?
What?
You not mad that you selling poison, bro? Okay.
Please go.
Please go?
Yeah.
At this point, some might even think that something is genuinely wrong with him. But then his friend Santiago gave the most accurate description anyone has ever given, which is that Will wants to be a content creator at all times and does not know when to shut it down.
All right, is this one example, or do you see me consistently do this?
Multiple times. We had these conversations before about you not being so mean. So like
Mean?
not mean.
I'm mean,
No,
sir?
Okay, I didn't. That wasn't the right
Rude?
adjective to do. Not rude. I would just think annoying. It's not mean. It's not rude. I think it's just a point that he wants to be a content creator at all times. He doesn't know when to shut it down.
That explains why he often presses employees to ask whether or not they know who he is, interrogating them to the point of extreme frustration. He was once refused service and kicked out an ice cream store for requesting to try out all the ice cream flavors the store had.
You cannot film here. This is not a public space. I'm
Okay.
telling you. So I'm gonna refuse you service since you guys are filming.
Record this. Record this whole interaction. You're refusing that service.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You-
I don't feel comfortable.
Real quick. Okay, real quick. Real quick. Real quick. All right, cool. You do get that originally you said you didn't want to be film recorded, right? If you, no, bro, and this is my first time ever actually getting kicked out of a spot, right?
Culver's video is the purest version, where he asked for a discount because he is a content creator. His line was, "I don't know if you've heard of me before, Will Kelly. I'm sure you have." And she told him she had not.
I'm a content creator. I don't know if you've heard of me before.
No, unfortunately, I haven't heard of you. So it would be $45.79.
Just me being here is like huge exposure for you, for the company. Do you really expect me to pay full price?
Yeah, 10% discount.
Why he feels the need to ask waiters if they recognize him is beyond any sense of reasoning, but it could be because he feels so little of himself that he now has to compensate publicly. There are many instances of him just rambling in front of waiters, and they felt lost thinking of what could possibly be wrong with him.
I looked at you over there and I thought you were like 16, 19, something like that. I come closer, I'm like, oh wait, this is a grown woman.
Yeah, I'm 32.
32? Yes.
Spicy or original?
Spicy. Nothing about me is original. You find me charming? Am I wrong for that? Am I wrong for that? I don't be feeling wrong for that.
But beyond just harassing waiters, he also berates fans who actually adore him.
You saw me, you just felt the energy. You were like, oh my God, he's clearly a star. This is life-changing. Is that what you said? Oh, you shocked, right? You like, oh my God, he's popping. Oh my God, Will Kelly. Ah! You're fanning out right now. It's okay. It's cool.
During a live stream, a fan tried to speak over him, which sent him into an explosive rage.
Did you hear me talking? Did you hear me in the middle of the sentence when you started speaking?
I got brought up. Yeah, my name. When you get brought.
He seems to believe that everyone operates on his level and that no matter what he does, he is always right without needing to explain himself. He once invited a DoorDash driver into the house without informing the occupants, and when they questioned the driver, Will took offense and almost got into a physical fight.
I'm telling you, don't talk to him like that.
I asked him who he is and what he's doing here.
Say it in a polite manner.
He's a man who entered our home and isn't a member of
That
our
I
family.
invite. The point is, you're gonna watch how you talk to him.
The point
That's
is
the
you're
point.
gonna watch how you talk to
Yo,
me.
get the finger. Don't point in my face.
I can do whatever I like.
Don't point in my.
The chaos he causes everywhere almost led to him breaking an elevator inside a hotel. Unsurprisingly, his girlfriend tried to leave him and flirted with another man, likely exhausted by his constant bickering.
I don't do that, bro.
I was singing a song.
No, you were flirting.
No, I was not
Be
flirting.
accountable. You were flirting.
No, I was not flirting.
Alright,
We
that's
just
cool.
met. I was saying, hey,
Okay,
what's up,
so
hello?
just me.
No, I'm not about to be.
put it simply, the rudeness might have been survivable on its own, but what really finished him was the pile of things he was caught being dishonest about.
For how rude people say I am in videos. For how disrespectful people say I am in videos. Why does no one defend me when I get disrespected in the comments?
Will Kelly frequently posts videos detailing how he used to get free food by planting hair in his meals. He then uploads these clips as though he had just achieved something noteworthy.
Really what I used to do to get free food. Once I ordered the food, I'd go to the bathroom. Once I was in the bathroom, take off my shirt, go underarms, and I literally pick hair. I'd pick out armpit hair. Right, you can see the hair? This is what we're gonna do. When the food comes out, we're gonna put the hair on our food, and then we're gonna complain, and that's how we're gonna get a free meal.
The funny thing is, he is also a habitual liar. He usually claims he would give the scam-obtained food to homeless people, but in reality, he ate the meals himself. There was also a time when he visited a Jamba Juice, which he claimed was a regular spot from his past. In the video, he insisted his palate had changed, but one of the employees confirmed that he not only ate the food, but he also finished the entire platter by himself. When someone brought up this issue during one of his live streams, he deflected by blaming it all on his mental health, saying he does not have to be humble after becoming successful, and that having a huge ego comes with success.
I would argue you can't even get to the level of success that I'm reaching towards without having a huge ego. Like seriously, what I'm trying to accomplish without having a huge ego, I don't even think you could get there, bro.
But it's
why do I now have to be humble?
being humble gets you the most respect, if I'm gonna be honest.
That's true.
No, success gets you the most respect.
That's what we want to hear.
I deal with severe mental health issues. Severe.
Then around June 2026, he gave the real motive for all the content he has been doing, saying plainly that he did it for money and for attention.
It's over, bro. I'm done being fake. I did it for money and I did it for attention, bro. Building my brand. But in the process of building my brand, I lost who I was and I lost why I was doing it. The only reason I wanted to make content was so I could connect with people and build a community because I felt so alone. And in the process, by doing this, I feel more alone.
Then there were the issues of the dating content, which raised very uncomfortable questions that must be addressed. He made a video series titled, How I Riz at 500 Pounds, and declared in one of the episodes that if any woman does not find him attractive, she is fatphobic.
Woman does not find me attractive. I am a handsome man. If you do not find me attractive as a woman, just based off of looks, then you are fatphobic.
To be completely fair, fatphobia is real, and there's a serious conversation to be had about how bigger people get treated, but that is not what he was doing. He was saying that any individual woman not being into him personally was proof of her prejudice. There is no room in that logic for preference, or type, or any of the 1,000 ordinary reasons people are not attracted to each other. And in his videos, people were quick to point out that the way he rizzed was just annoying. But his story did not end there. Will Kelly is a guy who got many opportunities to do what he actually built an online following for, but he never seemed to want to do it, and all that became apparent to many people during the saga with his trainer. If you want one story that explains why people stopped defending Will Kelly, it is what he did to the man who trained him for free. Yes, you heard that, for free. Coach B was a Chicago trainer who agreed to work with him at no cost, which is about the best break a struggling creator can get. The trouble started because Will kept showing up late and skipping the extra cardio he was given between sessions. Will asked how many times so he could get his head right. Coach B kept pointing back to the missed cardio, and eventually Will snapped. But Coach B said next is one of the most useful things anyone has ever told this man. He said he was not there to give him pity, not there to pat him on the back, and not there to hold his hand.
Because you want pity, and I'm not here to give you pity. I'm not here to pat you on the back. I'm not here to rub your head. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm not here to do none of that. None of that. I'm not here for that. Coach B. I'm here to give you constructive criticism. I'm here to hold your accountable, because ain't nobody been holding you accountable in 20 plus years, obviously, or you wouldn't be in a predicament that you're in right now, okay?
That is not cruelty. That is a coach doing the exact job Will asked him to do, and Will knew it. And as someone in the comments pointed out, that made Coach B a good trainer. Then on December 13th, he announced he had fired him, and his own description of it is the most self-aware line in this script. He said he sent Coach B a text like a coward, even though all the man had done was look out for him and try to help him win. And then he made a 3-part series where he explained why he fired him. At first, he tried to establish the fact that Coach B was not paying him for free, since he was using his platform to market himself.
Watch me and Coach B talk about our breakup. Part 1. Let's start here. Do you think you were giving me free training sessions? I think that's a misconception.
No, so
I think people see you as a free trainer. I never saw you as training me for free.
it wasn't, at the end of the day, you did compensate me. So I can say that. If I ever felt like you was wasting my time, I would have literally just like called it quits before you did.
I felt like you were exchanging your services for the marketing platform of my platform. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That's what was going on in my head. How much do you charge a session?
Depends.
Okay. So what I what I charge for a brand deal surpasses however much you would charge for a session. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Every time that you're on my page, to me, it was just an exchange of commerce.
Then he refused to take accountability for his own actions, saying he quit because he felt Coach B would have wanted him to quit, since he always called him a quitter.
This is why I left my trainer. Part 2. And now you want to tell me I'm a quit day? Let it be that. Let it be that.
So me telling you you're gonna quit makes you quit?
Nah, it makes me move forward.
No, but it's supposed to do the opposite, Will. That's just accountability.
Then he said that he did not like the way Coach B talked to him in their sessions, and his criticism was not constructive, so he had to quit.
Coach B, part of being a good trainer is knowing what's going to motivate your person. Am I a person that does well over negative reinforcement? You were not giving me constructive criticism.
I don't care who you are, Will.
You weren't giving me constructive criticism.
That is a grown man ending a free professional relationship because someone told him the truth about his own effort. That is all there is to it. There's no doubt that losing the only person demanding accountability should have been a wake-up call. Instead, Will started looking sideways at the people doing it right, and became jealous that people were showing them love. As viewers started calling Will out on his antics, his comment section became extremely negative, and he realized he was no longer receiving the unconditional praise. But rather than having a moment of introspection, he felt jealous of how supportive fans were toward other content creators documenting their weight loss journeys. He opened 2026 naming them out loud, saying he was jealous of Sal, jealous of Ethan, and jealous of Nathan.
I'm jealous of Sal. I'm jealous of Ethan. I'm jealous of Nathan. And I've had to do a lot of reflection. Over this past week, going into the new year, I've been in thought about my 2025. I went crazy this year. I made more money than I ever had this year. My content's been great this year. I built a following this year. But I was sitting here comparing myself to the other creators in my space, and I was sitting here having like real envious feelings, and I didn't understand why. I'm so proud of my guys. Everybody I named went so crazy this year. They're doing amazing. But why did I feel this jealousy? At first, I thought it was because they lost a lot of weight this year and I didn't. But then I slowly realized, nah, that wasn't it. I'm jealous at how they're received and I'm not. I look at other people in my space and I look at their comments. And yeah, sure, they have hate comments here and there, but they get so much love. And I look at mine and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I giving off? What's so wrong with me that it seems like a lot of the people who watch my videos genuinely don't like me, don't respect my journey, and I'm not understanding why. And then I had to...
But what he did not understand, or maybe failed to understand, was that the difference was not luck or because of hatred people have for him. Ethan, for example, moved to Texas to train with a coach for a full year, which is the least glamorous decision a person can make. Although he did point out that those guys show progression and you see results, while with him you see nothing. He was disconnected from such progression and instead decided they were not really him, and he did not want to be another person.
Once I realized that, I said, okay, I'm going to give the audience what they want. I spent the last week making videos that were completely pandering to you guys. I made workout videos, diet videos, motivational speech videos. And as I watched them back, I realized the one thing I learned this year is I have to be myself. Because when I'm truly me and I'm only living for me and not other people, that's when I like myself the most.
If you started this video from the beginning, you would never have imagined him saying that making diet videos and workout videos was him pandering to his audience, and he was not being himself. This is the same guy whose entire rise to fame was on the premise that he wanted to lose weight and detailed his journey in doing so. But then, after his little realization of sense of self, he announced he would only make what he wants, whether that is power meals, vlogs, or talking to women. He has since been crashing out on his followers, blaming haters for his own lack of progress. Instead of returning to the authentic content that built his platform, he announced he was going to pivot.
Sub-week, so let's check it out. Santi, are you recording? Did you get the interaction? You missed the interaction? That's why we're not where we need to be, Santiago.
By 2026, the weight loss angle was basically gone, and his page had drifted into territory that had nothing to do with why anyone followed him. He filmed a McDonald's power meal with a creator named Lexi, then posted a story of the two of them in bed less than a day later. He does the same to the men he brings on. At Burger King with his friend Marcus, he bought the meal and then announced it, calling himself the big dog who feeds the fam. Of course he paid. He invited the man to a video he was going to earn money from, and covering a meal is the bare minimum. That is the pattern across nearly every collab. The guests come off likable and human, and Will comes off as the person you would not want at your table. But there is the Taco Bell video, which is the one thing in the story that stops being funny. Then he asked the woman he was with on camera whether the two of them had slept together, and when she said no, he told the audience they were going with that lie.
I'm gonna ask the question everyone's wanting to know. Did we?
We did not.
We did not. So we're going with that lie.
We are.
We didn't do it.
Seconds after that exchange, he brought her young daughter into the video.
My daughter watches your stuff and...
Did she see our video?
She did.
What'd she think about it?
She liked it.
Excuse me? What's your name?
Caitlin.
Come here, Caitlin. She's the best.
I know.
Was that supposed to be a compliment? One commentator noted the child looked visibly uncomfortable, pressed back into the corner of the booth the whole time. What really matters is what Will did. Ask the girl whether she had seen the previous video he made with her mother, and what she thought of it. Will's a grown man in his mid-20s who knew exactly what was in those videos, so there is no version where he did not understand. But he is not the only adult in that restaurant, and this is where the story has to be fair. Her mother brought her, let her watch the earlier video, and put her in front of the camera, and that is a parenting decision nobody forced. His cameraman Santiago eventually left, having spent months telling Will the truth about how he treats people. All of this was bad for his reputation, but reputation turned out to be the least of Will Kelly's problems. Everything before this was a man damaging his career. What follows is a man dismantling every safety net he had left 1 week at a time. It started with an announcement that should have alarmed everyone around him, which was that he had stopped taking his medication. His words were that he was never getting back on his meds, that medication is used to control you, and that he refuses to be controlled by anything or anyone again.
I had to break up with little shorty because she was like, Will, you gotta get back on your meds. You gotta get back on your meds. I'm never getting back on my meds, bro. That's used to control you, and I refuse to be controlled. I'm not gonna be controlled by anything or anyone.
Then he broke up with his girlfriend and told the audience exactly why, which was that she kept telling him to get back on his medication. Within weeks, he had removed his medication, his girlfriend, his nutritionist, his trainer, and his cameraman. Every person who had been asking him to take care of himself was gone, by his own hand. Then he ended up in the hospital and filmed himself in a gown with equipment audible in the background.
I'm kind of sick like that. It's content over everything here. I'm in the hospital.
The follow-up is genuinely hard to watch because he was clearly frightened, saying he almost had a stroke and was terrified on his way to urgent care. He said he might die, asked God that he does not, and then in the same breath read his gambling sponsorship. A man who believed he was having a stroke stopped to plug a betting site, which tells you where his priorities had landed. He also revealed the number that made everyone stop laughing. His blood pressure was in the 180s. A typical reading sits around 120, and a top number that high is the range doctors treat as an emergency rather than a checkup item. However, that did not seem to change the way he viewed the type of content he should be creating, or even the fact that she should be taking care of himself more. Then he did the most Will Kelly thing in the entire saga, which was to call the ex-girlfriend he had just dumped, and filmed while trying to make her the bad guy.
She's the woman who said she didn't want to be with me because I was so fat, and she was scared I was gonna. So now that I'm telling you, that's not what you said? What did you say then?
I said, I fear you. I didn't say I don't want to be with you because you can't.
It was clear that he did not know exactly what he wanted or what he was doing. But anyway, he left the hospital saying they told him he was fine, that the earlier numbers may have been false, and that they were on the way to pick up medication. Then he said the one true thing in the whole sequence, which is that this is exactly why he does not want to be this size anymore. Anybody can say that, and he had been saying it for over a year, so what he did next tells you whether he meant it. And so, what did he do? He went back to making the same type of content he had been making, posting power meals. Then he ate a pile of donuts in single bites, days after telling his audience he thought he was having a stroke, and even made a pancake mukbang too. The power meals came straight back too, with Burger King, McDonald's, Noodles & Company, and Fatburger all inside about a week. The strangest detail is where the hospital videos went, Instagram rather than his main TikTok page, where his actual audience lives. So it was not at all surprising that people realized he was never going to change. He cut off his medication and every person supporting him, then landed in an emergency room.
I'm off my meds, and it's kind of ruining my life.
Moreover, he also realized that crash out videos are more commercially successful. They pay better than his workouts because a lot of people would rather watch him fail, and that includes everyone monetizing the downfall. None of that removes his responsibility though, because he is the only one who can actually walk away from any of it. So after the hospital, the firings, and the promises, the question is what is actually left on his page today? His channel is now a combination of his food lifestyle and being back to intensively working out. He now makes daily content of himself working out on treadmills and doing regular exercise. When he wasn't posting videos of him working out, his page was filled with videos of his eating patterns and the type of food he ate. He also now collaborates with other content creators for his food content, and then he gives his audience regular updates on his weight. The problem is that many of those workout videos are barely workout videos, and several are mobile game ads filmed on a treadmill. The weigh-ins tell the real story, and it is the least flattering set of numbers a weight loss creator could publish. He started at 531 pounds, and his first weigh-in of 2026 came in at around 560, heavier than when he began.
I keep gaining weight and I don't know how to stop.
Then it got worse because his scale returned an error, meaning he was too heavy for it to read, and a doctor's scale put him at 570.
I told you guys I was 570 and I weighed more than I had in a really long time, but I've done work since then and I've locked back in. I got in touch with my guy Simon. He's been giving me the food I need to eat. I got in touch with a trainer. Shout out to my guy Ted. He's been telling me what I need to do.
One of his viewers in his comment did not believe he could ever actually lose weight, even though he said he had sought help. But to his credit, he then put together a real stretch, dropping to around 519 by May, which is a genuine 50-pound swing in 2 months.
You got my full body? Huh? Look at that. What's that say? All right, guys, I'm at 519 pounds.
And then he made the most arrogant video of his career about it, demanding his congratulations and his flowers.
Month I was at 540, and the month before that I was at 570. And that's a 20-pound decrease since last month. I want my congratulations. I want my congratulations. I want my "we're so proud of you" Wills. I want my "you're doing great, keep killing it" guy. I want all of that because everybody has something to say. Whenever it's negative, everybody has something to say. Give me my flowers on my positive, bro. Give me my flowers. I've been going viral this week.
1 month later, he weighed in again and had lost exactly 1 pound, which he admitted could just be the heaviness of his pants. Then he explained why, saying he did not go 2 days that month without cheating on his diet. But that did not last, because the power meals were back on his page within weeks. Then around September last year, he broke up with his girlfriend, whom he claimed he loved, but the relationship was not working anymore.
I broke up with my girlfriend, and honestly, I feel relieved. I still love Z, but Tina loved Ike. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, I was miserable. She's probably watching this right now, so I'm gonna keep it as respectful as possible, but being 100% honest with you, I really think she was trying to kill my spirit. And the problem is, she almost did it. I was so anxious being with her because nothing I did ever felt good enough. All it was criticize, criticize, criticize. At least that's how I felt. She said that she loved me, but I realized there's no way she could have loved me because she really didn't even accept me. Even when I talked to her about having to make this video, she said to me, "I was trying to fix you." Bro, I don't need to be fixed. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm really realizing that for the first time in my life, that there's nothing wrong with me. I like who I am. For the first time in my life, I like who I am.
He is still fighting in fairness as regards losing weight, insisting that failing tomorrow does not matter, because the difference between him and the next guy is that he is not quitting. The trouble is that his viewers stopped believing that specific sentence a long time ago. But even though he has gone back to his source, his comment section is still somewhat filled with negative comments, showing that he has lost the initial fan base he built. And now people just consider him a lol cow. Well, Kelly's online trajectory is a textbook example of how sudden internet clout can warp a creator's character beyond recognition. What began as an inspiring, vulnerable chronicle of a 600-pound man fighting for his health rapidly deteriorated into a display of unearned ego, systemic deception, and hostility toward the people around him. From harassing service workers and scamming restaurants to firing the trainer who offered him free help, Will repeatedly chose entitlement over discipline. By treating his audience with contempt, hiding behind mental health excuses, and scrubbing evidence of his outbursts, he burned away the goodwill that built his platform. Ultimately, Will Kelly proved that while losing physical weight takes work, shedding a toxic ego is a burden he was simply unwilling to bear.